Hello everybody, welcome to the whatever episode this is, 29th episode of the Chicken Chess Club podcast, the only podcast that covers Twitter, chess, and chickens all at once. My name is Gustafsson. Nothing really happened in the chess world, so finally, Laurent, we can talk about your personal life, your plans, your dreams, your vision for the future. What's going on?
Some stuff happened for me actually. So I will talk about my my chess life more than my personal life. I won this tournament I was taking part in Cap d'Agde, even if I was the higher rated player in the tournament, as Peter told me last time. He reminded me. I mean, it's always feels nice to win a rapid event. I beat Maoridzi in the semifinals, who is 25 years younger than me. So that's kind of kind of nice. And then I beat Moroni, who is also quite younger than me. I think 20 years. I think he's 20 years old, so basically 20 years younger than me. So all these young guys, it's nice to for one of the last time, to beat them and to win the tournament. So all good. I'm back to Paris, where the weather is very similar to Hamburg, I guess.
Ugh, I'm so sick of it already. I was in a good mood when I came back. I felt refreshed, but some days of Hamburg rain broke me. So I'm back to normal. But Peter Heine Nielsen, the coach of world champion Magnus Carlsen, is with us here today. And Peter, bad weather can't stop you from playing your 5 hours of golf, can it?
Not at all, of course not. The only thing that can stop me is work or holidays. So I actually had a free week break from my golfing career like that. And the last week I was in Denmark, and I saw a lot of Tivoli, the zoo, all kind of kids things with my 8-year-old. But now I'm back and can fully focus on golf. And due to, you complain about the weather, but at least the weather is good enough to prolong the Lithuanian golf season for one more week. So now I have 4 days left of playing golf. And I was there this morning at 9 o'clock. The golf, the clubhouse hadn't opened yet. I was standing there knocking and trying to get in. So I'm really giving it my all. But you remember in a previous podcast, you actually tried to make me new friends on the golf course. And today, for the first time ever, someone actually asked, out there, maybe we should play the round together. So I wouldn't say I made a new friend today, but I actually met another person and played a round of golf with him.
But the most surprising thing is that you said yes, huh?
I said yes. No, I was curious also. This was actually at hole 2, and at hole 1, I was already into a huge debate on Twitter with Sutovsky. So I thought, okay, this actually would be a good thing for me to break out of. And
so that's good news for us on Twitter, actually.
Exactly. So I basically had like a 3-hour break from Twitter playing golf with my new buddy there. And he's Ukrainian refugee, of course. So we had some soccer to talk about.
And he's better than you?
Most people are, yes. So that he wasn't that much higher rated than me, but he played much better than me. So that's for sure.
So you have a target.
No, I'm just much weaker. But I'm actually not. You can say you're extremely competitive. I just enjoy being out in the good weather. Getting a relief from tweets and trying to improve slowly in a way. So
okay, and running after the ball when you lost the ball is not a problem, yeah.
But that's a big problem for me. And now you're mocking me because I have bad eyesight. But it's actually a huge help to have someone to go with you, because you can actually see where my ball lands, and that's actually a huge advantage. So
no, I didn't mock you because of your eyes. I mocked your golf skills.
Yeah, well,
because sometimes you can see where it goes, but there's still no way to get it back.
That is true. If you, when you hear the splash in the water, it's probably a sign that one is gone. Yeah.
But okay, enough talk about hole 1, hole 2, where your ball lands. There's a family show.
Okay.
So how is life, Jan? So I accept that the weather is that you would like to move to Thailand.
Very much so.
Yeah, accept that. Or maybe let's talk about that. When do you move to Thailand?
It's gonna be rough. I have a family.
And they can move with you in Thailand.
I don't know. They go to school. My wife has a job. I'm not sure if I tell them, let's set up shop in Chiang Mai. The weather is nice and the massages are really cheap. I'm not sure it's going to work out.
I'm sorry, but we're going to return to my Ukrainian golf buddy from today. He was actually living in Portugal. He was a member of a golf club. He could play 5 different places, but he moved to Lithuania because his Ukrainian kids can go to a Ukrainian school in Lithuania. So just telling you, kids and school, that trumps all kind of pleasure. So,
Okay. Good point.
No, I'm fine if they keep going to school as long as I can keep going to Thailand. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough. What can I tell you? You know it is. I felt refreshed. I felt nice. I've been working out a lot. I'm in great shape. But Hamburg weather, it's gonna break me, and soon it will just be sitting in the basement whining that someone on Twitch called me a weak chess player, which I am. That's how I envision the future.
Wow. Okay.
Do we have any chess news? Other than Laurent winning Cap d'Agde, it's slow chess week. No, like Wesley's winning $200,000. There's so much money in all these tournaments. $200,000 in this global chess thingy.
Yeah, I mean, this global chess thing, it looks so similar to the Champion Chess Tour, actually. I mean, it's just exactly the same format where you get these knockouts in 1 or 2 days. You get 6 games. You get a lot of games. Then you win 1 set, I think, and you play the next day, or maybe not. I mean, it's very weird. I didn't get into it. I was just...
Thanks for explaining.
No, I mean, like, it's very weird. I mean, like, at some point, Duda played the Banglode against Naka. So they sit in front of each other. They play this e-sport, so which means that they play in front of a computer.
Yeah, I think you should explain that. I think it was a 128-player knockout.
Yeah.
And then the 8 best players qualified for this was an online tournament with 128 players. And the 8 best are qualified to play in a knockout in Canada. Is it Toronto? Okay.
Yeah.
And and there they play in front of you. So that is correct. The difference perhaps to the Champions Chess Tour is that, it's basically a straightforward knockout to get there, right?
Yeah, and also it's more open to everyone, actually, because,
What are 1 or 2 exceptions, but yes.
Yeah.
But the money was good from the beginning, no? Like you win 1 round, you get 5K. It was like this.
No, you lose the first round, you get 5K, but you had to qualify, which was not easy, actually. I mean, half of the players were invited, I think 64, and the rest, or maybe 32, I'm not sure, but I think you just had to qualify, and you were making like 5,000. I think it was 1 million over. I mean, it was really big prize pool.
Yeah, there's big money in all these online events.
But yeah, but it's very similar. Overall, it's very similar to Champion Chess Tour, actually. I mean,
is it a business for them in the sense that they get so much content that drives viewership that it makes sense for them, or is it just advertising? No, I'm just curious. I mean,
let's not start asking questions about how the chess business works. Like,
okay,
but you have like you are following Playing Magnus stock market, stuff. So you should know more than me, than us, actually, or maybe
chess.com. I haven't followed sort of the recent events.
Yeah, but I guess it's the same.
The
same procedure. I mean, it works, except that of course, chess.com is bigger.
No, but it's just that. I mean, for us, it's a bit of a weird format, but. Well, they managed to put the knockout matches at completely different times. So basically, for viewership, they basically have maybe 2-3 weeks of just constant action that you can log in and see some live chess. I don't know if that just works for them. I also noticed at some point that it was difficult for me to figure out who was playing, but the commentators I knew for sure because there was a lot of activity about them on social medias. So I'm just trying to explain that this could be the model and it might actually work, because I agree it's pretty big sums for the chess world for an event of this caliber.
I mean, to be honest, especially without Magnus. I mean, Magnus is missing in that tournament, which makes it, I mean, the same, basically the same people than in Champion Chess Tour. I don't know, Wesley did play probably some events in Champion Chess Tour, but not all of them. But basically it's the same players, but without Magnus, which of course we all... of course, we are biased on that, but anyway, I think everyone will agree that it's not the same tournament with or without Magnus. It's pretty clear for everyone, I think.
But this one had my boy Nihal Sarin. Shout out to Nihal. He made the finals, and to bring it back to Peter territory. Sutovsky had the foresight to see that 16-year-old 2,650 player Nihal Sarin was a budding good player, or what's the story there?
Yeah, you tell me. I think that Sutovsky tweeted that, FIDE put Nihal Sarin in the spotlight by giving him a wild card to the FIDE.
No, it's not what he said.
Okay,
he said that he got a wild card before he was in the spotlight.
Before he was in the spotlight, but
still, it was ridiculous. So let's
not. And then, the FIDE Grand Prix was, I think, in the latter part of 2021, and then, basically, I was probably asleep, so some people beat me to it and started mocking Emil and basically sort of, putting up that I tweeted about Sarin in 2017, and that was basically a competition about who was first. But it's clear that, the general point is that, Sarin was a huge talent, and he was perhaps the most.
I had a training session with him in 2019, I think. I will take all credit for all of his progress.
I was actually trying to preempt that by saying that he was the most talented, but then he fell somehow behind.
He lost some years after our training session. Yeah, that's why I held him back 3 years.
I was trying to. No, I'm not kidding. But he was the most prominent talent at some point. Then he fell a bit back, and now he's doing very well again. And India has a ridiculously strong team of teenagers. Is my impression, right? I mean, it's you tell us. You know more about Sarin, obviously, right?
I think he's a good player. He's been held back a little bit from some amount of chickenness sometimes, I think. Like, he's made some draws, and he has the problem he also has is that he's so ridiculously good at making moves with like 20 seconds on the clock that he always lets all his time run out. And then he's playing incredibly well with a second per move, but it can't be the most efficient formula in classical chess. He's a serious time travel addict, and I think he always has been. Makes him an amazing bullet player, but I'm not sure that's the recipe. And I guess he's been fixing it to some extent. But yeah, other than that, it's a bit of opportunities and confidence. I think all these kids are working hard, are having decent sponsorships, and are incredibly fast, addicted to chess. Then who makes it, past, let's say, 2,750? That's going to be the question to be answered. So,
was he the one with the milk company?
Akshaya Kalpa.
Excuse me.
That's a milk company.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I mean, to make up your point, he's very, very good in blitz. I think I saw online that he was higher rated on chess.com than Magnus and Nakamura. Magnus came back to chess.com, which is, of course, shows his talent. But on the other hand, maybe it's not such a good news because it probably means that he's spending a lot of time playing blitz, maybe too much time. I don't know, but
he's always done that. I think he plays blitz every 3 minutes, and it's been like that for many years. You could argue if other things need to be done, which I think they are also being done. But as we've talked about in the past, maybe it's not such a bad formula to play a lot of blitz and fast time controls against strong players. Like, also got him to where he is.
Is he also coached by Ramesh like everybody else, or?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, but I'm not an expert, I'm sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So Sarin beat your boy beat your hero, Jan. He beat Anish Giri in the semifinals.
Yeah, there were two hearts beating in my chest while I was watching every match live with great attention.
Yeah, it ended up in Armageddon. I think the first day, at the time we are recording, so it's Tuesday. So Wesley is leading +2 after 4 games. Could have been even more, actually. He took a draw as black, which will make Wesley my chicken of the week. But he's so good, Wesley. He's dominating all his matches. So, so far he beat Naka, which is arguably, maybe it was a final before it, actually. The semi-final. Wesley against Naka looked to me very much as a final, to be honest, and I don't rate the chances of Sarin very, very highly. Coming back from -2 against Wesley, it's not it's not something you.
Wow, hot take by Laurent Fressinet. Also, it is Monday, Laurent.
We are Monday, yeah. Okay. Okay, it's good.
You got me full, but nice try. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I thought also, Giri beat Radjabov in the quarterfinals. That's also worth mentioning. This was actually quite an interesting match. Giri sort of drew apart, winning 2 games, but Radjabov managed to fight back. But then Giri sort of, I forgot if he beat him in the Armageddon game, right? But,
they have this funny stuff in Armageddon. You are making a bid. It's 15 minutes for white, I think, and you are making a bid of what time you want as black, and they did that in the qualifier as well. And the lower bid wins. If I say 10 minutes, you say 11, then I get 10 minutes and black. And I think Radjabov's they both said something incredibly high, like 13.5 and 14. I mean, it was just.
I think that Sarin bid like 14 minutes and 57 seconds, actually. So
you wanted white, yeah?
I heard there were some people just bidding 15 all the time. So if you bid anything less, you will get black.
Yeah, I don't know what happens if they. But also, 15 is max. You cannot bid extra time, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say 20.
Yeah. It's gonna be correspondence at some point.
But there must be stats, no? Like how many draws are actually being made at this level with an equal time control, and how much of an advantage that is. I always thought white is good in these.
I don't know how that's. I played some world championship at one point, and at that point people were telling you, okay, black is doing ridiculously well in this Armageddon. It's all rigged. So I chose black and lost. White won all the games that round. I mean, there's rather little data in these things. I think at some point, maybe Grishuk or perhaps also Magnus was trying to say that there was a huge difference between 6-5 and 5-4 or something like this. But I don't know.
I don't think there's that little data. It's just not being tracked properly. No, I wouldn't know where to look it up. We're so bad at statistics in chess. Can't one of these chess sites do something like Basketball Reference where we can just look up everything?
Hey, again, you don't pay enough attention to my Twitter. I suggested that.
That's very true.
3 months ago, I said that we should have something like Baseball or Basketball Reference, and there was some debate about how easy it might be to do. But
so let's count in terms of tweets. 2-3 months ago is like 500 tweets ago, or 600 or 1,000.
I actually stopped around 9:30 this morning because an actual human being spoke to me. So you're right.
So your new Ukrainian friend, will he take time of your day out of tweeting? Like your fans can't want that.
Yeah, we are planning to play golf together again tomorrow morning. So I think somehow the podcast will be out later than that. But this week, if we are playing in the morning, you might have a window of opportunity to tweet without me replying immediately. So that's sure. I was also getting laughed at that it took me 94 minutes to reply to Sutovsky's tweet this morning. But I was busy with the driving and taking kids to schools, these kind of things.
It's all right.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've covered the Global Chess Championship, where Wesley, probably when this comes out, will have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to jinx him here, but it might not help. Trying. Does that move Nihal up in the junior power rankings? I don't know. I think his classical rating needs to catch up as well. No, like, we know he's a great rapid and blitz player.
Moves up is a matter of definition, but it's too strong to say. I've forgotten about him, but he had dropped considerably. Now suddenly he makes a big cash. He beats some strong players, makes it to the final of a global championship. Well, it puts him on the list at least. We haven't. I don't think he's got any mentions before in this podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
I always talk about my boy Nihal.
I think. Yeah, that's more. Anyway, I think actually you have mentioned him before. I think. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, my hunch is that Prague and Prague is doing. Also, he's not 2700 as well. And Nihal, they're much better just in this fast time control. So probably they are investing just much more time on blitz and bullet, which I don't think it's great. But if it's say too much, I don't think it's great. Yeah,
it really bothers you, right?
No, I don't think. If you are playing every day 2 hours of blitz and bullet, or 2 or 3 hours.
2 hours?
Playing much more.
It's 10 hours.
So you don't think they are checking their openings and so on, yeah?
No, I think there's also some checking probably.
But
Remind-
much
Maybe
less.
at the same time, no, after the games.
Remind me, who is it that you're working for?
Yeah, but I think he's checking games. He's thinking about it, and he's not playing blitz on. You think he's playing blitz on a daily basis, 5 hours a day?
I don't know, maybe not 5, but quite some, I would guess.
Yeah. Well, is he playing hyper bullet? I mean, like they're playing hyper bullet now. This 15 seconds, so maybe he does.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, but okay, you cannot take an exception for for granted. I would say Magnus is just ridiculously good, and whatever he does
Nakamura?
is so good that Nakamura. Okay, Fabi is doing that. Giri is doing that. I mean, the guy we are in top 10 for many years. Levon is doing that. I don't think so. MVL as well, even if now he's a bit on a down. I don't think Wesley is playing 10 hours blitz a day. So I think most of the serious guys and the serious people who have been around for many, many years, actually, in the top 10, I don't think they are doing that. Of course, you can say Magnus is playing soccer in the morning of the game, and it's very good to play soccer in the morning of the game,
No.
which I think it's not. But, I mean, for him, everything works, basically. I mean, so, yeah.
I would respect Laurent's position as the French Botvinnik who condemns blitz and these kids playing blitz a little more if I hadn't seen Laurent at quite a few training camps or World Championship camps where you've played the occasional game of blitz. No, like people like playing blitz.
Yeah, but it's to entertain the kids, which are in the camp.
Come on.
No.
I like to play blitz, but I mean, as you saw, I'm not playing blitz more than 1 hour per day, let's say. Average.
Good point. Actually, some listener wrote that there is too few stories from tales from the training camps has just left. Well, basically, we have no stories left. But
we have a lot of stories left from Thailand, but we're not sure. We can tell them on the podcast, but we don't want you to know. So we can tell them on another podcast.
I don't listen.
I mean, the main problem is that we don't know. We don't remember exactly when the story, I mean, they come from after the end of the match or before the end of the match. So we're not sure about that part. So probably we shouldn't tell them.
But we're pretty sure if it wasn't after the match, that was before rest day.
Yeah, well,
yeah, no, that one I keep. I mean, we will tell it in we have to wait for a few years more, I guess.
Your salary has been paid. Magnus is not playing a match again. I don't think there's that much you can lose. But I wanted to say that
we should bring Jordan on. We should bring Jordan on to report.
Okay. We can replace me, so it's going to be two chickens and I don't know what. But no, what I wanted to say that it's true on these training camps, there was always this huge power struggle that me and Gusti was sort of annoyed at you guys playing blitz all the time. Right?
No, but I mean, come on. I'm not asking for blitz. I mean, you have to admit that. I mean, it's like...
No, there's 3 guys that want to play blitz all the time and 2 that don't want to. You're clearly and then you want to play.
I mean, no, really, I mean, like you missed it. Even Daniel told me that I was not that eager to play blitz. It's true that in 18 I was more eager to play blitz, but this time I was doing it just because they wanted to play. I mean, really, I didn't want to play. I lost.
You lost to me, actually.
Okay, I probably won some games as well, but yeah, maybe I lost 1 game. Yeah, so yeah, no, but at times, I mean, it's nice, but not all day long. I mean, and I think it's good to get practice. I mean, it's what I do before I go to a tournament. I didn't play for a long time. Of course, I play some blitz to get some practice, but I don't think it should be a daily routine.
Note taken.
But all day long, you think it's worse to play blitz all day long than to, I don't know, do something else? I mean, you are comparing it to studying hard, doing exercises, but if you're not going to do that anyway, you really think it's worse playing blitz than not doing anything? I wouldn't think so.
I think you're right.
Okay.
At the end of the day, just total hours put in. I mean, especially for these young brains, I think there's some benefits to it. No, it's constantly thinking about chess and pattern recognition and so on.
I mean, you're chasing this ideal that you can sit there and study hard, but I think that's typically something people think because they didn't manage to do that themselves, and then they blame themselves for that.
Also, no one does. No, like sometimes people do at training camps as serious people, but even the people we think of as super serious, they're not sitting there all day studying.
Well, exactly. I mean, for me, it's more something that we think we should have done. Rather, there is people who have said, I have done that, and it worked. There's not that many of these people.
I mean,
I
agree. There are not that many, but
I had a training camp with Anand before the World Championship match in 2012 for 3 months. We were studying 12 to 14 hours every day, 6 days a week. And trust me, it didn't improve neither our openings nor his shape, was my impression. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It sounds like you had a great time.
yeah, we had a lot of fun. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Also, before we sound too lazy, we should mention that these training camps before matches, it's basically 5 nerds sitting on their computers for 12, 13 hours a day, clicking on stuff. No, like
Talk for yourself.
that's true. Okay. While Laurent plays 1 hour of Blitz.
I'm playing 2 hours of Blitz, and Magnus wants to play some tennis.
Oh, but
Magnus there is different, but also
he mentioned 5 nerds specifically. The problem is that sometimes Magnus joins and then productivity just plummets, right?
yeah, it's nicer if he's around.
Of course, you play football, you go to the spa, I don't know what you do, you swim and stuff like this. But paddle tennis, of course. Jan never plays paddle tennis, right? Yeah.
I've never played paddle tennis in my life.
Sorry about that. Anyway, this is a chess podcast. Are we actually going to get to some of the highlights?
Well, we're talking about World Championship match preparation.
Oh, that's actually true, yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw. I mean, like I had some example of people who are sitting there and walking all day long. I would say Kramnik, for instance. I mean, he was doing that. I mean, clearly, and it did work out. I cannot imagine Kasparov playing a lot of. I mean, like you have some counter example. I don't think it's just impossible. If you want it, I don't think Geary's routine. I think it's very good. Wesley so as well. I can name many people. I mean, so for us, of course, it was probably never the case. No, probably I was not doing that. I mean, none of us was doing that when we were young, but it's not impossible. I mean, let's not say that this 5 hours blitz per day is mandatory. I mean, just
no, but the common denominator seems to be everybody who's good spent a lot of hours on chess. What they spent them on, be it like opening studies, end games, calculation training, or blitz. And it's not like anybody does 100% of one thing. No, like everybody is following games, thinking about stuff, looking at openings and so on. It's just the priorities. I don't think one can say with certainty, this is the way and this is not the way.
My general advice has always been that look at things you find interesting, because then you will spend more hours, and that's great. I mean,
basketball.
Exactly. Yeah. That's that actually we haven't talked about that. The Chicken Chess Club is branching out. We now have a fantasy basketball team.
We do have a fantasy basketball team. I was busy during the draft, but since I've been very involved, you did draft Kyrie Irving, which might cause some issues. Because now, we might have to root for Kyrie, which is a hard thing to do to come back. He's been banned for a couple of days. Overall, I think we're in decent shape, but not in great shape. Now Siakam, with a great season, got hurt as well, so it's.
Oh, he got hurt. That I didn't know. Okay.
It's rough. It's rough out there.
Oh boy, I thought I hated the FIDE segment, but now I mean the basketball segment is even worse. I don't even get a word about it. I have zero.
Rudy Gobert is having a terrible season.
Rudy Gobert, I know.
There you go.
And Tony Parker.
Excellent. Victor Wembanyama?
No. I know Michael Jordan as well.
You haven't heard of Victor Wembanyama? He's French.
No.
He's like 7'4", and everybody's going crazy. He will join the NBA next year. He will be the next big superstar.
Yeah, this young kid, right? Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
He's like Mbappe?
He's much taller than Mbappe.
Yeah. He's much taller than Mbappe now, come on.
Okay, what chess topics do we have on our list? Peter put ICCF 960 preliminary startup as a talking point. Yep, that's the alternative.
Well, my correspondence 960 tournament has started, and I mean, I am incredibly stressed about it, I have to admit. I mean, I feel like I'm time pressure. I only have 30 days left for 10 moves and things like this. And then you're getting moves all the time. You analyze it with Endians. The one Endian says one thing, something else says something else. I mean, no, it's basically when you're a coach, you completely forget how stressful it is playing chess. And apparently even preliminaries of 960 chess correspondence things are also stressful for me. So
But can you do what everybody does? Just use the fastest hardware you get, let Stockfish run, and then send his first line?
I do, but they all say the same. I mean, they give you 3 moves that are 0.12. Then you start analyzing. Well, try and take, a normal chess position. And, well, there's the starting position in regular chess. I mean, you don't get, you can choose between many moves, and it's not as simple as that. And then
so you're becoming one of these old men who are playing correspondence chess with their engines and are claiming, no, it's not that simple. You have to analyze so deeply. You have no idea how complex it is to choose the right engine move. You have to go so deep.
I am very puzzled with, and then, you think, okay, if you make your move before, midnight, you save a day. But then, at 10 o'clock in the evening, you think, maybe this move order is clever, and then you don't send the move and stuff like this. It's,
I played against a grandmaster of correspondence chess in a simul, live simul, quite recently, actually, like 1 or 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I was not, I was not very impressed by his play over the board. So this is always very, very weird. This difference in level, of course.
I'm generally very curious if I'm capable of beating some of them, because one of them, I can see he just sent his move back after a couple of hours. And most likely he just checks with one engine and sends that. But it's not clear to me that having stronger engines and using 3 different engines and being perhaps 700 elo points higher, is that actually going to be enough? If I lose it,
no. I hope you lose that one.
No, also you still think that your quad-core laptop means having the stronger engine, yeah?
No, don't worry. I'm using
higher.
Magnus will not get a lot of openings done this month, but that's life. Using the good stuff.
He must be thrilled that golf season and correspondence season is still going strong.
Correspondence not even random, yeah? Random chess, yeah?
It's chess 960, yeah.
It's chess 960, so it's not even relevant for opening pipe.
No,
no, of course, it's just zero.
No, I was just curious. I thought it wasn't. I was sitting there in Reykjavik crying over that now we had the 5 days of Fischer Random. How am I going to play? And then I thought, bing, there is correspondence chess, right?
While Jan and myself, we just think about our last trip to Thailand.
I'm still there mentally. But we're very different people. I'm not going to claim I use my time wisely, but I would never, ever think about starting playing correspondence games. So, Peter just pursues these things.
I generally thought me and Jan thinks the same way in terms of chess, but probably in life, you and Laurent thinks the same, right? Me and Laurent just don't agree on anything.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it. With the chess approach, I think I'm much closer to Peter, and usually we would more or less come to similar conclusions. But with life approach, I'm more on team Laurent. Just I'm annoyed that he's happy, and I'm not even.
No, but correspondence, I could imagine myself doing it, but not chess 960, something useful. If it makes you work on openings, if you can discuss stuff with people, why not? But probably not. Overall, it's not. I'm just saying it's not likely. I'm just saying it's not impossible.
But discuss stuff with people is illegal, but fair enough.
You can have friends and talk with them.
Have you ever done that?
What?
No, you will be admitting to cheating if you do it. You cannot discuss your games with anybody.
Very, very important. Use any engine, but don't talk to people.
Yeah.
So okay.
Poor Van Oosterome, he could never debate his games with anybody.
With Piquet. Okay. So okay. I don't know. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, it's not likely anyway, but it's not unthinkable. But chess 960 correspondence chess, yes. This is just clearly unthinkable. This is not happening.
I thought, for me, it's an interesting experiment. I want to see how it develops.
No, we're not blaming you. It's just...
you're a bit long, yes.
No, it's just fascinating, these hobbies you take up and take a genuine interest in, like shogi.
Yeah.
Golf, I understand. Some fresh air and being out there. Chess 960.
No, it's interesting to try and understand. It's fascinating to be a beginner again, because you learn things every day, while in chess, you just feel that you get worse and worse with the age. I'm not going to mention any tournaments, but exactly. So, then you take away all your skills, and then the chance of improving, you can actually improve faster than you sort of degenerate as a human being.
No, but let's say, in shogi, in all your hobby, you are taking shogi, golf, FIDE politics. I mean, like it's a moderate success, I would say. That's the main common point between all the new hobbies you get. But you are much more successful as a coach.
I understand that. So
Yeah,
but that's exactly the point. I mean, if you have been successful as that, you have the freedom to do something.
So you prefer not to. Actually, maybe you don't like your. I mean, it's something.
Well, I mean, I have won enough as a coach. It's not. I mean, well,
Yeah.
I would rather have probably had that Magnus kept playing matches, but that he doesn't. It's not something that I have cried a lot over. Well, I'm gonna miss the social things with you guys, but well, you know.
We're here. Aren't you loving it?
The excitement of the match? No, you are going to miss that. No, of course. No.
Also
Or you
stress.
think you won too much already?
No, I mean, well, you think you missed the excitement of the match, but
No,
it's
we
because
will.
because you won. Are you sure you would miss it if you lose? I'm not. I don't know.
I mean, I lost. I have both experience.
But you were crushed. I mean, you didn't have hope. I thought, sort of.
yeah, we were crushed. Yeah.
No,
No, of course. Yeah, winning.
Well,
Is,
you got used to
it's
it
key.
during the. I mean, no,
Yeah, of course.
a bit serious.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I can imagine that. Well, for instance, Caruana losing to Magnus must be very tough, right? You're so close. You play a good match against the best player in the world. I mean, it could go either way, and then it doesn't, and it's just over. That must be a blow. I mean, like Kramnik
sure.
who loses the match clearly. Okay, I mean, well, yeah, it probably doesn't feel pleasant as a chess player, but I guess also as a coach. Well, how bad did it feel? Tell me about it.
No, of course. I mean, like, it felt terrible. Yeah. I mean, like the guy was just. As we did our video set. I mean, after 6 games.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in the team, including especially Kramnik, understood that okay, it's gone. He lost the match after only basically 1 week. I mean, there is 1 free day, so it's 8 or 9 days while we were preparing for months. So this is of course crushing. But yeah, in a way for Kramnik, everything went wrong from from start to the end. I mean, so it's okay. Yeah? For Caruana, I agree. It must be highly painful, and of course, it's.
Kramnik was getting used to it. For Caruana, he understood that 4 hours from now, I'm either going to be ecstatic or devastated, and he doesn't know what it's going to be. Kramnik, at least. Well, the same you saw with Nepom Magnus. Well, the match was not over, but everybody understood it was over because, well, Magnus needed 1 point out of 5 not to avoid a tiebreak or something. But I think it's a good point that the last match we didn't feel the jitters that we were used to, and it's probably pleasant to avoid them to some extent. But I mean, I'm still gonna miss obsessing about details and the anti-martial before a match, something like this that turns out to have absolutely no relevance. But then there is 960, right?
Well, those are your details, no? Like there was some very relevant ones.
Yeah. My details just didn't have any relevance. But
let's not look at Peter's. No.
Yeah, no, something like that. But
on a half serious note, this might be a chicken note, so it's not surprising. But people always say when you lose, you learn so much from your losses, and losses make you stronger. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think if you look at history. Like losses have also really messed up people and cost them their drive and their self-confidence. And I'm not sure, of course, it's a sympathetic thing to say, but I'm not sure it has to be a useful part of the process. Like Magnus, he didn't have to lose a world championship match in order to become stronger. Sometimes people are just good and they crush. It's not like I think losses are integral.
If Kasparov had lost the first match to Karpov, 6-0, do we think he would have been even stronger than now? I mean, obviously not.
No,
I mean, well, I think in our team, we are just blessed with this idea that Magnus is going to win in the end. I mean, when you have this feeling that everything is going to be fine, I mean, it does help a lot. It creates, confidence and stuff like this.
For Fabi, actually, he was 28-35 or something in 2018. I think it was the start of going down. Slowly, but surely never managed to come back in the candidates, even if it was a bit special with the pandemic. Yeah, I think that was very bad for him. As we remember, he was very close in terms of rating and in terms of winning the match. I mean, both, to be fair, both players had chances in classical games. But yeah, that was clearly a crushing experience, and being so close to the goal and missing it, and then you have to start a new cycle to win against the candidates, to prepare again for the match. I guess it's just...
No, people do it, and it shows tremendous willpower, but it doesn't mean they wouldn't have been good had they managed the first time. So I always think this losses only make you stronger and you learn so much from them. I think it's more empty sayings than actually general useful advice. Of course, everybody loses games and has bad events along the way, but this general wisdom I never bought.
What I do think is important is to have competition, competitors,
For sure.
rivals.
Exactly.
I mean, for instance, let's not go into this debate about female chess, but at times you see someone becomes too strong in their region that it becomes a bit too easy for them. But I mean, if you grow up, for instance, Magnus had kayak in Nepom and so on, but you need someone who pushes you. That I think matters a lot. Maybe that is a bit that, this fear of someone being better than you is motivating. So maybe there is some connection to that, but it's not the same, right? It's quite different in a way.
No, you can see it also by the average chess level in many countries. Of course, there are outliers, but yeah, in Germany, it was always about, you need to be 2650 or 2600, and you'll be on the national team, and you'll be in the top 5 and so on. And that's the level most people get. And then you go to play Austrian League. Okay, now it's gotten stronger, and of course, Rager has been an exception. But there, everybody was 2450 because that's the level to play the national team. And in other countries, of course, the level has been higher. Obviously, people, especially very competitive people, they can outlast this national thing and find the rivals internationally. But even very locally, you can see how important the level of competition is for your own level. Also, me as a kid, I wanted to win these German junior championships. So you rise your level so that you have a chance to win those. And of course, you need a higher level if these things are tough.
Bacol was your rival, right?
Yeah, he was actually a good... he was always better than me. I mean, at some point I overtook him, but now he's back again. So mainly he was ahead of me, and that was a great motivation, actually, to try to compete with him. I mean, he was... you are mocking us, but he was, at some point, he became the youngest Grandmaster in the world. I mean, he became Grandmaster before... in terms of age, before Kasparov, Fischer, and so on. Yeah, so he beat the record, which was quite something at that time. It was not easy. So that was, I agree with Jan. Yeah? It's nice to have a good competition inside your country. Also, I mean, you play with them. I mean, I played so many games. I mean, Bacro is the guy I played the most games with. I mean, I don't know how many games, Rapid, Blitz, Classical. Overall, more than 50 for sure.
Yeah, but it's also nice to see if someone can make it out of their country. No, Keimer, for example, now his rivals aren't the other Germans, but his rivals are these other top kids. And obviously with Magnus, it's a completely different story as well and so on. But I think it's for the average chess level in the top 10. I think it's very important what the level in your country is like.
Yeah, as you mentioned, exceptions. I mean, someone like Magnus shouldn't be able to exist because Norway was not a strong chess nation before him. I mean, they were considerably weaker than Denmark, for instance. I mean, if you're talented enough, you can break out of this, of course.
For sure. Yeah.
But in terms of sort of numbers, very much so. Also, you can see this Indian boom, of course, is Vichy to a huge extent, but also that there are so many and become so competitive seems to create a ridiculous level, right? So
also, Vichy's been around for a while, but this boom, of course, it takes time to build the infrastructure, but it also helps. They now have this generation with the internet and the competition who are constantly checking each other's results, and then younger kids are coming.
No, I think I remember at some point Vichy was telling me, I forgot if they had 1 million kids playing chess in schools, and I thought, okay, it's just ridiculous because, that's also going to transform towards strong players just simply by pure numbers, right? I mean, we have, do we have 10,000 or 20,000 in Denmark? Who cares? I mean, you cannot compare, towards 1 million, right? So.
But for a while it didn't translate, no? Like they were dominating World Junior Championship at the young groups, but no superstars were coming out of it. While now it looks like it's very much happening.
Yeah, superstars is a tad early, right? They don't have anyone you would say is competing for the World Championship, would you?
No, but the potential is
of
there.
Course,
no, with name whoever. If you have a bunch of 17-year-old 2700 level players, the odds aren't bad that someone will
in
be
7
world
years,
class.
it could be a local Indian encounter for all we know. I mean, it cannot be ruled out actually. So
Yeah, that's so. It could be just a final between two Indians. Yeah.
So I'm not sure we made any points, but yeah, it's an interesting topic. Then, of course, we have to mention the 10-year Mind Games anniversary is just around the corner. When was the tournament? Was November, December, Laurent?
It was December, I think.
okay. Yeah.
It was middle of December, I think, right before Christmas. It was a nice Christmas present for myself.
In case you don't know, Laurent won the 2012 Mind Games Rapid World Championship. Ahead of Kayaki, Nakamura, Grishuk was there, Giri. So it was a very impressive victory.
Yeah, I beat Mamedjarov in the first round,
Mamedjarov.
Giri in the second, do Grishuk Kamsky, then beat Nakamura, do Dingliren, and beat Kayaki in the last round.
Actually, no.
It's actually shocking you did that. But
Yeah, no, me too. I'm still.
I looked at the game and they're ridiculously good. I mean, it's saddening to see. I cannot barely believe it. I mean, it's
No, come on. So, some games are not incredible, but okay. Against Naka, for instance, I mean, he's just over pushing like crazy. I mean, like he's losing by himself. Yeah. While I'm repeating moves, while I'm winning, I'm completely winning, but I'm repeating moves. I have little time. I don't know. He has 20 minutes. I have like 10 seconds. I was playing fast and but I mean, and most of the people I beat, I played against them many times, but I only beat them in that very tournament, like. So that was my only victory against many of them.
That's like when Al Bundy had 5 touchdowns in one game. That's your Mind Games 2012. Sorry, not a reference, Laurent, in a sense.
No.
Anyway, we will, of course, have to do something to honor that historic occasion. And we're working on it. We don't know about the format yet, if it will be a book, an oral history with Laurent saying how he felt in every single situation. But, Peter, what's the state of the project?
But the funny part, I would like to add something, that Peter was commenting there.
Yeah.
But we didn't know each other, actually. I mean, we knew... we would say hi, but that's it, yeah?
Maximum, I think. Yeah, but...
we would say hi, probably, no?
Well, probably, but I'm not
seen Peter around people.
I'm not completely...
Who was your co-commentator, actually?
Victoria.
Victoria?
No, Victoria was playing.
That was in front. That was World Cup, yeah?
Yeah, she was playing for sure, so...
she was playing.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, but this is one of my connections in FIDE got me this gig, right, where I could be...
Wow!
I knew it, actually.
I never got any FIDE gig, and Peter got a FIDE connection gig.
Yeah.
What? So who got transparency?
Jeffrey Borg. He's
Jeffrey Borg.
Jeffrey.
Maybe 16, 17 years ago, I was on a holiday on Malta, and believe it or not, I was out drinking Friday evening. Of course, not like the locals, but I was having a bit to drink. But I managed to pull myself together Saturday morning and go and play a local rapid tournament. And then, I registered. They asked, "Who are you?" "My name is Peter." "Okay, what's your rating?" "It's 26 something." "Okay, fair enough." And then they called Jeffrey Borg, so he came racing in and said hi. And then, he showed me around the island. And then later he gave me a gig where I could come there in Bay.
Well, that's the trick. One needs to go there. One needs to go to the movers and shakers.
Yeah, exactly. So
what were your qualifications? Was it your rating, your English, your charisma? Was there a transparent process?
No. He played golf with Jeffrey.
Wow, that's nepotism.
Actually, no. I mean, I had been a coach, sort of, for 3 world champions.
That's very weak.
Chips at that point, maybe 4, right? So I wouldn't say it was ridiculously weak, but I get your point. I mean, I also have, taken the money and ran at some point, right? So it wasn't that much money, I have to say, and also it was a chance for me to hang out with my girlfriend at the time, now wife. So I think it's excusable, but I probably wasn't their first choice, I have to admit. But to try and run away from that subject, there is definitely video of me commenting on all Laurent's games.
But who was your co-commentator? You don't remember?
The embarrassing thing, I remember him, but I've forgotten the name right now. He was Polish, and it's very embarrassing.
Eberla.
Exactly, of course. Yeah.
Eberla. Okay, I see. Yeah,
Apologies.
Okay, I remember.
But we were doing comments
Did
with that.
Eberla also play that Malta Rapid tournament?
No, he had much better connection. I think he was there for regular events. I was just sort of I got into this event. I think also one time I went there and I was supposed to be a commentator, but they told me before entering the plane that maybe Navarro is not coming. Can you play? I said sure. So when I landed in the airport, I asked, so am I a player or a commentator? I said, are you a player? Okay, sure. So I played. So no, I gotten a lot of gigs from FIDE. Well, you want to talk about my wild card to the World Cup also, or are we going there?
Yeah. Nah, we'll keep that for another episode.
But what I wanted to say is that there is definitely videos out there where I comment on Laurent's games, but I cannot find them online. And trust me, I spent a lot of time on it. Basically, I mean, we were doing commentary, and I remember doing commentary on his game with Nakamura, for instance. But not everything seems to have been saved, although there is quite a lot. There is basically, Mind Games Olympian means there was chess, Go, checkers, bridge.
Yeah, I was watching.
Probably, and then they would do it like a real Olympiad, so they switched from one discipline to the other. And I think chess players was allowed to start very late in the day because we tend to sleep in the morning, and others, Go players probably started at 9 o'clock. So that could be coverage like that. But I mean, on the exact days when Laurent wins the Mind Games, all the chess coverage I can find online seems to be from the female event.
So much has been lost to history. That's why it deserves a project honoring Mind Games 2012.
I mean, I have a lot of experience from FIDE trying to delete old posts. So I use the same technique to go into sort of the web archive, check the pages, but I cannot find. I found the Laurent getting the national anthem when he wins. That's online, but his coverage I cannot find. So.
Did you cry? The Marseillaise playing, you're standing there.
I remember Nakamura on my right, Gitschuk on my left. That was, that's a nice memory. So I just want, let's say, because I got the question many times when I say I want Mind Games, it was not a mix of all the Mind Games. It was just the chess section. Let's be clear. I'm only half good at chess, and I won that section. But I was checking the other games, and it was fun to watch. Actually, it was even if we have no clue, like it's like 1200 watching professional games, but still, it was fun to be part of that.
So if one of these checkers players tried to get into the chess hall, you could tell him this is chess, not checkers.
Yeah. Maybe something like that.
Okay, sorry.
But also but I mean at that point, I hadn't discovered sugar yet, so I was mainly caring about Go, and I was going there, but it was way too difficult for me to understand.
Yeah.
And I tried to talk to some Go player, he just looked at me and ran away. So I don't know. That happens.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, maybe should we ask for listener advice on how we actually sort of honor Laurent in the most proper way? Or you think
Hashtag Mind Games 2012. Tweet at us. My username is Elon Musk. It's gonna be fun. Also, we should start like begging for chess celebrities to come in and like do notes on one game. No, Magnus, I know you're listening. You can still pick the game. The game from Mind Games, the Fressinet game from Mind Games 2012 you want to cover.
No, I must say that I should thank Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, who was playing a lot of training games with me before that event. I was testing openings on him. Actually, I was very lucky with all the openings which happened there. I mean, you can imagine, that was the tournament of my life, so everything went well. From start till the end.
No, but also you had amazing confidence. I noticed that with Geary with white, you could force a draw in the opening, and you didn't.
Yeah, but at that time, Geary was not. I was about the same ratings than Geary. I was not, and I kind of caught him.
I just noted you played sort of.
And you know that Geary was really, improved a lot. But at that time, in Blitz or Rapid, he was really. His level compared to his classical skills were really kind of not funny, but really weak. compared to his level in classicals. Then he started to actually I think it was during the pandemic that he started to train, and he improved a lot in rapid and blitz.
I remember that Chuchelov was talking a bit about it, that it was important for them to understand how you qualify for the candidates, because if rapid gets more and more relevant in terms of qualifications, you also need to improve your skill set there. That's actually quite professional. That you might be a purist and think that classical is what matters, but if that's not what is played when it when down, you need to. You even I think. Maybe no one lost 2 tie breaks. It's in the women's candidates, for instance. It's true. Muchichuk actually lost in a classical game, so it wasn't decided like that there. But it quite often happens that tie breaks gonna matter a lot.
No, but Caruana was very famous for that, for being let's say considerably weaker in rapid, and it cost him. A 12 games match. You have to. The rapid skills are important. Because 6-6 is likely to happen.
He is not. That Caruana is bad in rapid and blitz, I disagree with. I remember speaking.
It was before.
I know.
Now improved a bit.
Peter's going to bring up the match against Nakamura, like he has done 18 times on this podcast already.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Then I will not do that. But I will point out that, talking about that he loses, to Magnus in playoff because of, lack of that. I don't believe in. That's a matter of nerves and a strong opponent.
In this championship too, in this rapid and blitz event, he had much weaker result. He never won a medal in world rapid or world blitz, so you cannot really argue that he's. You cannot really argue that he's. I think even himself would say that he's weaker in rapid and blitz. He just won 0 tournaments.
Let me check the blitz world rankings. Nakamura's first, Firouzja second, Caruana's third.
Yeah, but it's very random.
Carlsen fourth.
From one tournament to another. Come on. He never won a single a big tournament in rapid or blitz. I'm sorry. He played all these championships too, and all this rapid and blitz, world rapid and blitz. But he improved. It was much worse, like let's say 7-8 years ago. So he's improving slowly, but it's not his level.
Then is it time for the FIDE segment?
Oh.
We should mention congrats to Lei Ting-jae. She won the first leg of the women's candidates matches there against Muzichuk in the finals. Tough fought match. Congrats to her. Then I guess that ties into Peter territory, but just for news, the World Rapid and Blitz Championship will be held on the usual dates, December 26th till 30th or 31st in Almaty, in Kazakhstan. You guys aren't going, are you? Peter might go, I don't know.
But it's such a shame that FIDE is announcing that today and not tomorrow. Because we are recording today.
You want to avoid?
Yeah,
the Almaty topic?
It's very annoying. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not going there. I'm free for appeal committee job or commentator job. So yeah, FIDE, if you are listening, please. I'm very competent.
Is Jeffrey still in charge? I'm ready to go to Malta over the weekend.
Yeah,
we can go. Jan and myself there. Yeah?
Right.
Let's go to Malta. Play a rapid tournament.
No, we don't play.
No, in Almaty we don't play. I'm ready to play the rapid tournament in Malta if that's what it takes.
In Malta. Sure. We can go to Malta, play, and then we go to Almaty. No worries.
Now you actually started the FIDE segment. So when you talk about this, appeals committee is nice, but what you want is Nigel's job, is my impression, right?
I don't know. It's a lot of traveling. Like, of course, you get to go to these tropical islands. You give one simul, and then you hang out, and you can talk, which is nice. But all the traveling, I'm not sure. If it was only growing chess in Chiang Mai in Thailand, I'd be in.
Okay.
The director of chess development in Chiang Mai. If you have such a position, I'm the guy. But it sounds stressful, no? I have to leave the Solomon Islands and go to Vanuatu already? I've only been here 2 days.
No, because you are not... you are much younger than Nigel. Your kids are not grown up. I guess in a few years, you'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a bad gig.
Yeah.
I saw Nigel in Thailand. He was off to Singapore from there. And yeah, I think he's continued his tour. So yeah, shout out to him.
I have noticed that he's basically only tweeting pictures together with men. You think actually I've scared him off, or
I don't know.
no? It's atypical, I thought. But anyway,
but that's probably part of his mission statement as well, though, to bring more women into chess.
Could be. Could be, yeah. Anyway, are we going to start this topic officially or not?
Please, you can.
Please, here's your jingle. I thought we were already in it. You want us to shut up, yeah?
No,
we'll shut up.
Not particularly. No, I mean, so much. I mean, has happened since. I mean,
so you are even writing down before, because people cannot see. So are you writing down for your FIDE segment?
I've started to do that because I felt that the quality was lacking in my speeches. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Not just out of transparency. So Peter will now read what he wrote down this.
My first note is about, well, I mean, everybody talks about this Twitter thing at the moment with the blue tick, and that you have to pay for something you already had, right? And
I never had it. I'm not paying either.
No, I'm considering paying because,
wow.
Well, in the sense that, no, but at least Musk I can understand. I mean, he actually has a business. He needs to earn money in a way. So, well, it's also...
He spent 44 billion, like, as you do, and then, we're losing more money. Let's charge Laurent $8.
But I understand that I'm just doing this podcast to sort of, get a platform to speak from. But I assume that you're...
we're not, but we're still not making any money, Laurent. When are we cashing in?
But
that's a shame,
Musk, right? You are creating something, and then you're trying to lure people in, and then you want to cash, right?
Yeah. I want to cash before luring people in.
Fair enough. But that at least I can understand. I mean, Musk is a business, Twitter is a business, you can go somewhere else. But where one...
By the way, he just tweeted that he recommends to vote Republican.
Yeah.
That's quite strong, no? From the owner of Twitter on his platform, telling people how to vote. Also,
I thought it's a quick way to lose half of your users, but I don't know. I mean...
Anyway, I didn't mean to step on the FIDE segment. You're making some big point that FIDE is worse than Elon because they have the blue check.
Well, remember, we have all been paying for being a FIDE licensed trainer, and that is something that quite annoyed me, that basically you just have to pay in order to have the same status that you have your whole life. And
do you pay yourself? I always got federations to pay for it.
Yeah, but then they deduct it from your salary, right? I mean, in practical terms. I mean, they haven't thought about that before, right? No, that sort of, well, I understand certain things has to be licensed. Like, that you cannot just start driving without the state giving you a driver's license is reasonable. There has to be some kind of quality control. I would also rather have that my doctor, for instance, has been licensed in a way. But, something like chess coach, I don't see the point of FIDE licensing it, and also I don't think they have the competence to it. We got the title at some point. They didn't check us at all. I've heard stories about people getting the answers to the exams and so on and so forth. It basically becomes a money-making machine, and that kind of bothers me. It's just taking money from trainers who has to pay to get the license, and then they have to pay yearly fees.
But aren't they making sure every Olympia team gets a qualified captain because they have to go through the FIDE licensing?
Yeah, but that's the point. Then, they are not having the right quality. You are mocking me because...
I actually, that I testified recently for previous coach of me that he gets a license of chess, I don't know, senior trainer? Is that the maximum? Yeah.
I'm a FIDE senior trainer.
Yeah, FIDE senior trainer. I could testify for you, but you didn't need me. Pity.
No, but that's the problem. That someone...
I might need you to testify for other things.
There is quite some official roles where you need to have this paper and you end up paying. And while it is, of course, not monstrous not money per individual, like with the Musk $8, it's not that much money. It actually becomes quite a lot in total. And, basically, it's... I'm pretty sure that historically it's led to quite some corruption within FIDE. And that, for instance, to be a coach at youth events or at Olympiads, you had to have this title. And so I think, there is something wrong that, and I think it was even Vichy at some point was telling me way back that, FIDE should look at, individuals as something they produce value to, not something you can deduct taxes from. Anyway,
So you're saying in FIDE, the players should be the product, not the customers. While in Twitter, you're saying the users should be the customers, not the product.
No, I mean, well, for a start, Musk is a business. I mean, you can go somewhere else. The problem is FIDE actually has a monopoly. We have to, I mean, if you want to go to the Olympiad, you need to get their stamp as a coach, and you have to pay them. And well, that is it's not reasonable. And also, FIDE is the one controlling all these trainer seminars, and well, that has been a very lucrative business, at least from the previous administration. I think it's very lucrative, and everybody knows about it and talks about it. And well, you also saw that the recent leader of the trainer.
It's on my list.
on the sort of trainer commission. At least rumors are saying that it's a politically post based on supporting the present leadership. And well, I don't think FIDE is very. I mean, having any quality control over trainers, and they are just
what you're saying. Grivas didn't deserve his 6 Coach of the Year titles. Is that what you're saying here? Not
necessarily saying that, but I mean, well, to some extent. That I'm more saying that, for instance, in Denmark, they had a course where they produced 10 new coaches of people who never had anything to do with it. But you get a 3-day course from FIDE, you pay a certain amount, and then you get a stamp saying you're a licensed coach. I mean, that is not particularly serious.
So what's your suggestion? No course, no stamp, get rid of it all?
Something like that. I mean, it's just, well, we're not doctors. We're not operating people. I mean, you choose your own coach, and that's how it is. And if you're good, you will get more clients.
But that's at the top level, and everybody knows each other, and grandmasters and so on. But for some people, I know a lot of people in Germany spend a lot of time getting their C trainer license, their B trainer license, and they go to these courses and they learn stuff about how to teach.
But so let them have these kind of courses. I mean, but don't. I mean, the problem, FIDE can definitely have all the courses you want to go to, because you go there to learn something. The problem is nowadays you go there because you need to get your stamp in order to perform certain duties. That becomes abusing monopoly. FIDE can do courses if they want, and we can do our competing courses. But at the moment, we cannot do, we might be able to do better courses.
But it's nice to have the stamp. If you're not a grandmaster, then it carries some value if you're an A trainer or a FIDE trainer.
The main point is that you have to pay for it. That's...
Okay. So you want stuff to be free. You want there to be free course.
You have to pay, and it's a monopoly. And it's quite expensive, actually. So.
At least do like with driver's license, that there is different schools who can do it. Yeah. I don't think that they are providing something that is qualitative better than others could do. The reason they can do these things is that they have a monopoly on it, and that I think is wrong. And that's, I think, historically has been abused. Me and Laurent outvote you 2-1, and we move on to the next.
But generally you are not that fast to take my vote in.
I understand.
So, yeah,
that is true.
Wow, such a shame. It's not.
I would like to have prepared the first point better, but so many things happened with FIDE today. They announced.
It's all right. Sorry.
They announced a new sponsor for the World and Blitz Rapid.
Oh, Russian ties or no Russian ties? Which one is it, Peter?
yeah, exactly. Well, again, it's a Kazakh businessman, but of course he was a Russian citizen until a few months ago. He is on the 2022 Forbes list of Russian billionaires and stuff like that. So it's, again, do we have two kind of sponsors, either Russians or someone who was just Russians until recently and the billionaires? It's like such a broad world. Can't we actually find something else? Apparently we can't.
But it looks like no. And if we can't, would you rather not have the event?
I believe it's possible to find other things. And this becomes like, well, we're just getting stuck there. You seriously think that we cannot find something else? Do you think chess is that bad a product?
People have like the Champions Chess Tour. They have all kinds of Western sponsors and these chess sponsors.
No, but apparently they don't.
But
if they don't, then
I don't think FIDE is turning down Western millions left and right.
No, but it's also a matter of not looking, enough in that direction, and perhaps also. Well, the problem perhaps is that the current FIDE cannot do it. I'm saying that FIDE could, had they, elected some other ticket, for instance, or something like that, right?
So what do you prefer? You didn't answer the question of Jan. You prefer for this time? Let's say there is only Kazakhstan because they cannot find money anywhere else. No, it's a question. What do you prefer? You prefer no tournament or you prefer this tournament in Kazakhstan?
Yeah, but I don't accept the premise because
Why not?
Because I think it's possible to find something else.
Yeah, but if you don't manage.
Yeah, but I will. I mean, yeah, but I mean, again, I think you're giving me a premise that I don't agree to. I mean,
No, it's a reality. No, there's this one sponsor. Do you hold the tournament or not? Like,
I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to find. I mean,
well,
why?
that's. I mean, well, you claim. I mean, I think it should be possible to find others. Also, that's what was said pre-elections that we.
So you think they shouldn't have decided yet? They should have spent another month trying to find other sponsors and then announce it?
I'm probably saying that I think they're looking in this direction on purpose. That's where they have their contacts, and they are not trying well enough. I think that.
So you don't want to answer the question actually? Like, what would you do?
I don't know. I would not be in that situation. I mean,
we should become cross-examiners, though.
It's funny because
nothing in ethics committee. Answer the question.
I don't know. Well, also, I mean, you.
Do you want chess players not to eat because you want the Russian boycott or not?
No, also, you're asking me to answer questions about freedom finance I haven't heard about before 9:30 this morning.
We're not asking you to answer any questions about freedom finance. Okay, so for next week, you think about the question and maybe you can answer.
Yeah,
people are waiting.
I would find a better sponsor before next week.
Yeah, okay.
With your long track record of finding chess sponsors,
I have managed every time I was told to. So yeah. Anyway,
can you elaborate on that?
I mean, anyway. Also, the next World Championship match apparently is possible to be in Mexico. Is announced today by the Russian state media. Dvorkovich gave an interview to probably Sports R or Sports Express. I cannot tell the difference.
That's funny, yeah? Mexico between a Russian and a Chinese guy.
I mean, they said that would be a nice neutral venue. It's not decided at all, but both the Russian Chess Federation and I think one of the Russian sort of state media sports papers has mentioned that.
Okay.
So that's a bit puzzling, but that could be. Yeah, I mean, it's also.
But you need more time to look into it. Know what the connections are, the political ones. Like we can assume there's some.
But it's not easy. I mean, the Russian Chess Federation.
No, you'll get that.
Russian Chess Federation is giving you a link that Twitter closes down because it's a Russian state media. I mean, I also have to Google Russian oligarchs and stuff. I'm playing out. Yeah, it's not easy, and the list is long.
That sounds fun, no? Mexico City? I've never been. Laurent.
Yeah, we should go there.
Sounds all right.
Yeah?
We should go.
Yeah, Mexico City. I've never been to. So yeah,
I have.
I'm playing Fide.
You were there with Vichy, no? Vichy won his first title.
Exactly. No, now you are mocking
his first undisputed FIDE title.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you disputed it. You were the one saying after that, well, he hadn't beaten Kramnik in a match. But you're right that in 2007, Vichy became the world champion in Mexico City. So theoretically speaking, I have been to Mexico, but reality speaking, I have seen the Sheraton Hotel in Mexico and gone for walks back and forth in the parking lot when I was too tired from analyzing.
A lot of parking lot stories with it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's true, actually. But it's actually true. I remember going downstairs at 2:00 in the night to walk a bit back and forth to get some fresh air. And then I have gone for some walks with Vichy in a nearby park. That's all. I have not seen anything of Mexico. So
we'll do exactly, to make a right balance, we'll do exactly the opposite with Jan. When we'll be there.
We will check the whole place. Once we're excused from our appeals committee duties, we will grow the game in Mexico City.
That's one of my about appeal committees things. If you would be in the appeal committee, would you have any social contacts with some of the referees during the event?
Depends on the referees.
Yeah. Okay. Why we cannot? We probably can't, yeah?
I would think so, but it doesn't seem to be the case. But I generally think that appeals committee is there to take, an impartial view on the referee's decision. So of course they should not.
And I would probably think that Nepo is wrong anyway. So whatever the case is,
I'm not sure that helps your case.
Ding is such a nice guy, and Nepo, I think he would be wrong. I mean, whatever.
Okay, so Laurent, I can't defend that. I think you're out. I'll have to do it by myself.
No, but I
I'm
mean,
really not neutral. No, on that case, I'm not neutral. I mean, okay. It's clear that Ding. I don't see Ding doing anything wrong. That's clear.
yeah, it's a good general rule.
Yeah.
But that seems to be in Mexico. But I mean, it could also be just some kind of pre-announcement and something else. But Dvorkovich was mentioning it to.
Didn't they say there were 2 candidates? Or maybe that's...
Well, they said that I had 2 offers, but they only mentioned Mexico. I mean, Mexico sounds a bit puzzling to me, so it could also be some kind of pre-announcement. I don't know. I mean, you have... for instance, when Vichy was playing Topalov in Sofia, the official story was that there was 3 bids for the match, right? There was Sofia, Turkey, and was it even Singapore, actually? I think so. And we thought it was just to drive up the Bulgarian bid. So that was practically speaking 1 bid. So I don't know if this one is for real or not. There is very few details. And again, I mean, we're talking about me Google translating Russian state media.
No. I know. I see on my brothers from Reddit they are commenting big time on this information. This Mexico and yeah, exactly what you say. Actually, that there is another city, but it didn't name it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Mexico City sounds exciting. Might be in the middle of the night for us, but yeah. Okay, let's
True.
Let's see. I mean,
if we're going there, it's going to be the middle of the night for us for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's also, I mean, a Chinese-Russian match in Mexico is a bit puzzling to me, but...
Why? It's a neutral, nice location. You want it in China and Russia, or what's your point here? Like, it sounds like a great location.
No, but maybe I have more chances to go with Ding there. I mean, Ding, nobody, he came alone in candidates. Ding, if you are alone there, I'm ready to be your company. That would be amazing. We would have an amazing time, I'm sure.
Martial expert?
No, I don't want to touch about chess.
You just wanna hang out with Ding.
Yeah, of course.
You wanna be like Magnus Barstad.
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about chess. I will learn a bit. He likes basketball, so I can learn a bit of basketball. Yeah. It's fine. Can play
Sounds
some
good,
tennis.
actually.
Can play
I think
some
you'd
tennis.
be good for Ding.
Yeah.
You find some nice restaurants, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Sounds excellent.
I mean,
yeah.
During the female candidates tournament, I asked on Twitter. I actually asked the FIDE Twitter account, but they didn't reply to me for some reason. But someone else replied. I asked who are the players second, and I think they said that for Mutichuk it was Kryurushko, and then they said for the Chinese player it was every Chinese GM. I mean, that basically seems to be the impression that everybody helps their compatriots. But I mean, is it just sort of...
But that's not how it works, no? Like, also in practice, like, you don't have 15 people who are sitting there working, so I never buy that.
I think mainly it's just, we actually simply don't know, right? I mean, do we know who was Dink's second for the candidates, for instance?
No, we don't know. No, but we know that, I mean, like, I know that he traveled alone.
Yeah, he was there by himself.
And she did as well. I mean, Monaco, she was alone as well. So that
I would guess they also don't have a choice, no? Like, COVID restrictions are still very strict, and it seems like they allow one athlete to go, but not send anyway.
Without coach?
Do you think it's my choice to go alone? Yeah, of course it's ridiculous.
Going by alone is pretty, I mean...
Of course.
No, but Ding was alone in candidates, for sure.
Yeah.
And she was exactly alone in Monaco, that's for sure as well.
Okay. It's impressive. Respect. I mean, then, well, my field list is long. There's also the Nigel Short cruise, but we spoke about that already, right?
Yeah.
And then actually someone has written here that August said Pete Sutovsky was better chess player than Pete Smyslov.
He did say that.
He's tweeted that.
It was a joke, or? Maybe it's... Is that... Can it be true? Probably not, huh?
I know Sutovsky was 2,700, no? But I don't know. I think Smyslov was quite good.
Yeah.
Of course, these cross-era comparisons are always tough to do, but I'm not sure.
Also, it's different time control, first of all. I mean, the time control was so slow in Smyslov days. I mean, it was like 3 hours for 20 moves or something, yeah? I mean, how can you compare?
But he was proper good, Smyslov. Like,
he was good, but he had plenty of time as well. I mean...
Isn't there tools to measure this? I mean, like... number of centipawn loss,
accuracy, but it also depends on the opposition and so on. No, like,
I mean, Peter, you cannot centipawns loss when you adjourn the game and you check it the whole evening. I mean, you want to compare that? I mean, come on, it's a joke.
It's also fair. Yeah.
I mean, the time control is like 2 hours for 20 moves, and then you just play 10 more moves, and then you adjourn the game and you check with your seconds.
It also becomes...
Different. No, you cannot compare simply.
What about opening knowledge? How do we do this kind of things? But general, my impression is that people underestimate.
Sutovsky will play the Grunfeld, Smyslov will play some G3, maybe Sutovsky equalizes, but come on, Smyslov will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, actually. I think it depends which time controls they play, first of all.
I think that the right way to do it is that we take Smyslov's games and then we take Sutovsky's games, and then we basically have something like AlphaZero train itself based on their decisions, so they become a clone, and then we have these two neural network play against each other. That's the best I can come up with.
Sounds like a completely reasonable plan based on an Ogor tweet.
So if we have anyone capable among the listeners to quickly make 2 neural networks like that, go ahead. But I don't know. I want to say Smyslov, but I'm not sure. I mean, it is difficult.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense, but it's always fun.
But it's always nice to troll Sutovsky, no? It's what Ogard is doing, no?
I don't think so.
But he said Sutovsky was much stronger than Smyslov.
But what I mean, like...
No, I think Ogor is serious. He's generally serious. But
it's unclear why he chose that particular example. But
maybe that was just to get me to talk about it successfully. But well, I think Ogor at the moment is tweeting some.
He's basically on a mission to say old players very weak, young players, new generation very strong. No?
Something like that. I'm giving a couple of examples.
He's finding some blunders from 1950s tournaments.
I don't know. I mean, it somehow I find it an uninteresting thing because you can have any kind of opinion you want. It's difficult to conclude anything.
It's different rules as well. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's like, I mean, well, as Larsen was said, he was trying to win a game of chess that day, and that you do against the opponent you have next to it. I mean, if we try to measure it, I mean, well, you take out this personal thing. Also, when, I mean, the centipawn loss, I mean, Magnus might have a higher centipawn loss because he's trying to bait his opponent and feel him. It's very
also
difficult.
Kasparov probably has a higher centipawn loss than Kramnik because he plays the Najdorf and the King's Indian and so on, so you get more complicated positions. It's not an exact science. But
No, I mean, but generally I think these guys was pretty tough. We haven't spoken about Karpov, who is in a serious conditions, but leaving his current medical situation aside, I remember playing him in this Reykjavik Blitz and Rapid, and I played him only in the Blitz segment, and I was shocked how good he was. First I thought, it's an honor to play Karpov. Then we played some Fury. I thought, the guy knows absolutely nothing. I'm much better, and I have much more time. And then I was incredibly lucky to survive with a draw because, when he started just playing with hands, just by intuition, he was so much better. Yeah. I mean, this was a shocking experience that the guy was not at all young anymore, but just the feeling was at a completely different level.
In your drinking game, you had Peter bragging about drawing a world champion in Reykjavik. Now is the time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But Magnus actually beat him, so but true. I'm actually.
I played him in a match in Kapdag like 11 years later. I think 2015. And I was outplayed in the Blitz. I was 27 something, and I was outplayed. But the problem is that he froze at some point. Like he spent like 1 minute 30 on one move, and then he blundered everything. But he was like 90% of the game he played better than me. But then he just froze. I mean, which cannot happen in Blitz. So he was a bit too old, I guess. But very, very impressive. Yeah,
it made an impression on me. That I remember specifically having this feeling that I'm better than this guy, and then 5 minutes later, I thought, I'm much worse than this guy. Yeah.
Fair enough. Then, chicken of the week,
Wesley.
Wesley, why Wesley? He's crushing
you didn't see. I mean, he took a draw against Sarin yesterday. I mean, game 2 is on +1 according to the computer, but. Even, you look at the position, some Catalan, no queens, is just better. Clearly better without... Okay, you always have chances to lose when you play a game of chess, but, not to continue that game, it's just something of a shame. And he's doing he's playing incredibly well in this global championship, but always doing his usual chicken, not more than needed. It was only game 2, so I think But it's so good that probably it won't change anything to the final result. But I mean, still, I feel it's always a pity when he's in such a good shape, and it seems to be in excellent shape. He's so ridiculously good and so much better than his opponents. That makes him the chicken of the week.
Fair enough. As usual. I don't have any chicken. I'm checking on my phone. Hans Niemann made 5 draws in the St. Louis Fall Classic. But it's all 4 draws. Any chicken draws there? No, I got nothing. I'll nominate Peter because he always sidesteps that one final question. Do you want the event not to be held?
Yeah.
So
it's Peter.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I also thought you stole my nominee. I don't know what to do, but I somehow, I feel I have prepared so hard for the feed segment and I've forgotten the chicken. So I don't know. I mean, well, we can take Geary, but it's difficult. He actually showed some courage in this event. Then when he got knocked out by Sarin, he was saying some you lose, some you win. Maybe I'm the chicken there because there was a reasonably obvious reply to that, but I didn't go. But I should be a bit more angry when he loses. Just not try to be a gentleman and try to,
Yeah, that's very annoying. I agree.
We need a bit. I mean, yeah. Can you at least, throw something or stuff like that? I mean, Well, I think. So, but no, I'm sorry. This is not really my second. I took Geary. What the heck? It's so Geary and me. Yeah.
It's a good group.
Yeah, I think so.
That you should go to the desert. I would pay actually to see that a show between you guys in the desert island.
Maybe have Sam Shankland. He has some reality TV experience.
Oh, that's true.
Throw him in the mix.
No, Peter would be too happy to have Sam around. So Wesley, Anish, and Peter, please.
Okay, enough. Yeah. This ends the 29th episode of the Chicken Chess Club podcast, where many important topics were covered in great detail. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks, Sasha, for making it all the way here. And see you next week.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.